Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. My name is Nick and today guys we're going to be jumping down into the world of Cardano. This is probably going to be a slightly shorter video today as I'm a little under the weather, so I'll try to keep this snappy, quite short and kind of to the point. So if you find it useful and informative, smash that like button, I do appreciate that. If you're new to the channel then go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all the notifications and you will not miss another video update. Let's get right on into this one then. So Cardano paired up with USDT here on the hourly chart and Binance is our data source. And on this hourly chart, since the last video, we were talking about coming down to 31.86 to 32.69. You can see that here in this three-wave structure, right between the 1 and 1.236 fib levels, and we came right down into this area. I don't think necessarily this is done though, so we're going to try to ascertain whether this C wave is complete and we should start thinking about some kind of move to the upside. For the most part, it looks like it should just be done here, and we could potentially move up a little bit before maybe resetting and going down a little bit deeper. So let's jump into that and see where that kind of takes us in terms of Elliott wave theory on ADA's chart. So I'm going to remove this one off here, and in fact I will remove this because we know it's our expectations. So what we need to do is we need to ascertain, we have this move coming down to this low point. We had a three-wave structure going up, so I'll quite quickly just draw that in there. So we have the three waves going up there. Then we have this kind of move here. Now this is interesting because this is slightly lower here, so we have a really stunted C. We then move up and then we kind of come down. We come down quite big here. So to me it looks like we might have to have some kind of, and this is possible but also might not happen, which would be some kind of small grind upwards here, only so that we can then come down and reset ourselves for a bigger move down like so. And so I'd say probably looking at it, it's a little bit difficult to say whether that is done or not, because essentially we'd want to kind of think that it's done like that, and if I tidy this up, it would look acceptable to kind of think that, we've got three waves coming down here into this C wave low point, hits our expectation and all of those wonderful things. Yet this area here could just be a reset and maybe we have another drop to come. So if I go ahead and take a look, right, we have this kind of 1, 2, and 3, or A, B, and C. If I take the current high and the low here, move this over to our lows over here, we should be looking at 34.25 to about 34.67. So I'll draw a little box right on there, just like so. So that'll be our C wave expectations there if we do end up moving up a little bit. Equally though, this is an interesting kind of drop that we've had here, and we haven't got a clear kind of cut three-wave structure to the downside. So if we do bounce up, I still would expect us to come down, meaning that this C wave doesn't look complete yet, and it might actually be some kind of WXYXZ. It's not impulsive. I don't think we've got any of those. I mean, we can check it, but I'm pretty confident it's not. We'll see. I know it is. There you go. Okay, so it is looking like we hit the 1.618, but we're going to have to dissect that area at the beginning to see what is going on there. So let's go down a few time frames just here. I need to see whether or not we are looking impulsive or not. So what we want to see is this area just here. To me looks like we are some kind of 335. I don't think that is a requirement for impulsion. Over here again, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. It does move down in 5 over there, so I would say it's actually more of a 335 overall, not impulsive, even though it went to that 1.618. So let me just draw that out so you can kind of see, right, we have this kind of move coming down here, bounced up, we came down, so it's only 3 waves in there. We then have this kind of mini correction right in here, go up, and then we come down in what looks to be 5 to me, a little bit hard to see, but we have this kind of structure right in there. Okay, so 335, just regular flat correction. So that doesn't look like we are leading diagonal or anything like that. It looks very just corrective. Then we obviously move up, and then we have this move here, which this one we can argue is 5 waves coming down, making the whole entire thing 335 and flat corrective structure. So it does look like this actually ends here, but the problem is this could also be a zigzag, or even this could be our wave 1 scenario, and all of this is just corrective. So there's a few things we have to kind of consider with this area overall. So we'll keep that in the back of our heads. Let's move back up into our hourly chart here. Okay, so looking at it, it does look corrective, and we'll kind of park the idea that maybe this is the beginning of a wave 1, and we're having a wave 2 right now, and then we'll drop down into wave 3 and so forth, in which case we end up with a much bigger 335 structure overall. Okay, so we'll keep that in the back of our heads. But my expectation is a slight higher move, 34.25 to 34.67. From our stochastics, we are overbought on the hourly, so yeah, we'll have to see if that plays out. Obviously, it becomes invalid if we cross down lower than 32.37, in which case we are just actually moving down, and we can park the idea of moving up any higher here on the price chart for ADA. Other than that, let's come to our daily, and we'll zoom just out a fraction here. We're getting a nice correction on the daily chart, so it's looking good for Cardano's ADA here. Not overbought. We're correcting down quite a bit, quite nicely. Still a bit of a journey to go though for ADA, so we'll see how that kind of goes. And as you kind of see here, we've got some peaks that we're interested to kind of see how they kind of go. But for the most part, nice to see that correction coming in on the daily chart. On the weekly chart, we're still progressing upwards. So again, not overly brilliant on our weekly time frame. You can see here we're just getting rejected from the trend line that we have been rejected from the previous 3 times. So this is now the 4th time and 4th rejection from our trend line to the downside. It'll be interesting to kind of see whether or not we can keep the existing low at 23. I was projecting out 22.3, so we're a little bit higher than the projection. It'll be interesting to see whether we can keep that or drop down, lose the 23-cent zone and drop down lower than 22. That would be interesting to kind of see how that kind of develops. But overall, I'm pretty happy with Cardano. Its progression overall, whether we have bottomed or not, it's a bit too soon to say. So yeah, I'll leave this one right there. If you found it useful, hit that like button. I do appreciate that. If you're new, subscribe, join us down in Discord if you haven't done so already, linked in the description down below. Guys, until the next one, have a fantastic day.